It is very unfortunate that the hoodlums crossed Governor Adeleke's convoy today, and we don't know if we can say it was an assassination attempt on him, but they did shoot at his vehicle and his security details shot back. And one would wonder, we did not see this attempt on him in the lead up to the elections. We did not see it in the few days after the elections. Why is it today that he's receiving his certificate of return? That whoever sent these hoodlums decided to send them? Is this in a bid to stop him from becoming the next governor of the state? Is this an assassination attempt? Are these just unruly supporters of maybe another political candidate who are not happy that he won? Or is this a coincidence?
It could be all of the above. Then let's start taking it from the Osun state election. You see that election, though most people said it was peaceful, well, to a reasonable level, but there were lots of lives, which was highly underreported. Then, and you could equally see that there were threats, and some people saying kill. And you see, the issue is that those threats had been underestimated, and before now, those who should be rooted behind bars, they should have been kept behind bars till after the election. They did that out. What you just experienced is an after-election violence, which could be to either kill him or make him incapacitated to run the state. It is a continuation of the threat, and that is why I advise the incumbent now, Mr. Adeleke, or the dancing governor, not to rest on his horse. He has to reconcile all the warring parties, bring them to board, because there are some of them that have been incarcerated, some dead, some killed, some maimed, all those not against him. In fact, they want to bleed him out of frustration or whatever. So it is not a thing for him to celebrate, to have a wild celebration. It should be a thing to bring all the things together for joy and for reconciliation. Be that as it may. So it could be a fallout of the election. And as I said, he should equally be mindful of his house. He's going to have a very tough house of state assembly. And he should be very, very mindful of that and rightly watch his back against betrayals. I think all what you just mentioned about it, they are just true. It could be assassination, it could be to make the state ungovernable, to make him incapacitated and able to run the state, or to make him just to make sure that something unexpected happens to him. That is my take on it. Until the police and further investigation proves me otherwise.
Is it unfortunate that at this level in our democracy and in our political stratosphere, we're still having such happening? The governor pledged about 500 million naira fund for those who lost their lives during the election, so that their families will be taken care of, their children can go to schools. Of course, those who survive the violence also, they can also partake of that fund. Now, this is not from government money, he says. That is a courtesy of his family, of course, the Adeleke family, which we know to be a billionaire family in Nigeria. He also said that he has forgiven his opponents.
Hello?
I can hear you, Mr. Awa.
Okay. You should know that we are practicing parochial system of governance. And in a system like this, anything could go. That is just that. And you know, just look at the pre-election, the election, and post-election. You discover that instead of reconciliatory gatherings, there are still an atom of smoking guns. And this atom of smoking guns will create division within the state, and make the state toxic for the people. So this is why he needs to go to work. And going to work is not necessarily and would not necessarily and may not necessarily end now. It will be a continuum until his tenure is over. So for what he has done, for the largesse he has provided for those that lost their lives, that were minded, that were killed, and that another misfortune happened to them, well, kudos to him. But the state needs to do more. Because all those behind the evil are not working for palliatives. Neither are they working for welfareism. What they are working for is for the reins of power. They want to be at the corridor of power. And those behind it are not just the street urchins, known as the area boys. They are the big shots within the state. They are the big senators. They are the big politicians. And they are those that are out to make sure that his government becomes ungovernable. Imagine the likes of Father Muti coming out to say, shoot them aside. And now he's putting the blame on AI. And imagine the other senators. Imagine the level of hatred. And I wonder, if they go to governance with this level of hatred, how will they be able to govern the state? And this is just a state of one ethnic city, which is the Yoruba tribe. Now imagine if it goes, if there are multi-ethnic groups in that place, what will happen to them? And these are the type of people we select. I begin to say our level of political awareness should go beyond Naira and Kobo. It should go beyond so much infrastructure. For you to be a senator, you are a think tank. And for you to be Mr. Senator, you are those that are reason for the country. And you coming out to play parochial system of government, parochial attitude to exhibit action is what is what being worried about.
Who could want Mr. Awa, this might seem like a rhetorical question, but who could want the newly elected governor of Osun State dead or assassinated, as the case may be? Because he just received his certificate of return today, and gunmen are also attacking him today.
In what I was saying, I ought to have mentioned that. And again, you should look at it from within his party. It may be opposition, it may be member of his party. As I said, the Nwikeism has become a theory on its own, and it has come to stay. There could be it said in every prayer there must be a Satan. That hand of Satan is still there. That they want to say, this man you have spent 4 years. Move on and let another person spend another 4 years. So it could be all what we have said. And mind you, I said, until investigation proves us otherwise. Thank you.
All right, then. We expect, of course, that the Osun State government will not leave this issue lying down. Now, the gunmen will be brought to book, and of course, whoever sent them will also be punished or prosecuted according to the law. Let's take a look at military retirees protesting their delayed pension adjustment in Abuja. There is a video currently making the rounds on social media whereby current serving uniformed personnel were trying to stop the retirees from protesting, and the retirees were telling them, this is your future, we are protesting for you. The position where we are now, we don't want you to be in this position tomorrow, and that's why we are protesting. We could hear one of the retirees saying, I did more than you when I was in uniform, let us protest, but then they were not allowed. Now this protest is coming after President Tinubu approved salary increase for military officers. Maybe, just maybe, could it be that these pensioners want to also have a bite of the cake? Could it be also, like they said, that their pension adjustments are being delayed? whether military or civilian. This is not the first time we are seeing pensioners who should be resting at home coming out on the streets to either lie down at the gate of a ministry or cry out to the government over their delayed pension payments.
I think the pension, the increment should have gone across that. It could have gone across both the pension, both service, those in service and those out of service. And remember that there's a proviso in the military palace that once you're a military man, you're an officer, you remain officer till death. You could remember that some of these ex-servicemen, some of them don't even retire. When the chiefs are down, they call them to help out in fighting crime or any other thing within the state. So I would have even called upon Mr. President that some of these laggies they float around onto these senators that are not thinking for him. He should actually spend it on the military. Because if the military if they go on strike, you should imagine what that will be to the polity, to the border. And
these are retirees, Mr. Awa, not current serving personnel, though. These are retirees. These are military pensioners protesting.
Even the retired ones should be allowed to protest. I know what I'm saying. Because when the chiefs are down, we have less soldiers to take care of this country. We relied on them. They are commissioned to come back. Some of them are commissioned to come back. It's like being on contract. They are commissioned. So when you begin to talk of pension, the pension too needs to be increased. When those in service too are increased, it is all there. As a military man, you don't retire. As a military man, you don't retire, including the SSS, including the DSS. The only thing that retires them is death. Death and incapacitation.
Mr. Awa, do you recall when there was a conversation about engaging retired military personnel for ungoverned spaces around Nigeria? And these are people who they've not even been able to pay their pension, and they want to bring them back.
Yeah, that is government for you. Mind you, I said, once you sign to be a military officer, you are signing off your life. It is government that owns your life. So government needs to take care of them till they die. If you increase that of the serving officers, serving personnel, you should equally increase the pensioners. In fact, they don't own their own lives. It is till death do you part. That is exactly what I'm telling you. And these people they go to the same market and do the same thing. So that salary increase should go across board. And besides, it shouldn't have been made public. On most cases, they are not. It is never made public. Let me refer you to a near scenario of it. Remember, there was a time, I wouldn't know if you've been in the media, when Nigerian police went on strike. The roads were cleared. Nobody. Workers were getting back home 5:30, 6 o'clock because they were afraid of the area boards. Now, if you are not motivating these people, and these people go back, return to their COVID, you know what that means? We need to motivate them to stay out of trouble. One, we need to motivate them to equally respond to government whenever they are called. And that is why the increment must go across board. Be you in service or be you out of service. Only that the percentage of increment will be different from the retired and from those serving. And when you do this, it will be a form of motivation, even for younger ones to join the force. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Awa. Because of our time, let's quickly talk about President Tinubu ordering that any funds recovered by the EFCC should be channeled to the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, that is NEL Fund. That is, if the EFCC recovers money from the Capital Markets Trust Fund, from Dormant Accounts Trust Fund, from any fund at all, they should be channeled from any sources at all. Money that is recovered from corrupt individuals, money that is forfeited to the EFCC should be channeled towards the NEL Fund. Now, a lot of Nigerians have complained complained about the dearth of infrastructure in many of our national hospitals. We have complained also about roads. We complained about electricity. We complained about the high cost of food. We complained about inflation, right? With the president saying that this recovered funds should be channeled to NEL Fund, is that the right place? Also, recently today, President Tinubu fulfilled his promise of publishing how the savings from fuel subsidy were spent, and he said, oh, about 15 trillion was saved, and it was shared between the federal government, the state government, and the local governments.
Well, there's nothing too bad about that. But first thing, there must be transparency. How much has been recalled, received, and how much is going to these institutions. If you look at general hospitals these days, both federal and state, they are more or less like consulting clinics. So we need to take back our facilities, our infrastructures, and keep them alive. And if you begin to look at even the student loans, the students, the higher institutions, the tertiary institutions too, need to be reminded, need to be visited, need to even be funding, because most of our institutions are underfunded, and that is why it seems as if life expectation in Nigeria is very short. So there's nothing too bad in that policy. But my take on it is there must be transparency, there must be integrity, there must be openness, and there must be accountability. Not in the case that you tell us that Fund A has been 1 million naira or 10 billion naira has been used for grass to cut grass in Ijaraba, in General Hospital in Ijaraba. No, there must be accountability, and Nigerians must follow it up. Let us know, so that we will not come here and begin to talk about falsification of accounts and figures. That is on its own. It's not too bad an idea, because these funds are Nigerian money, and they need to be pushed back into the system for better economy and welfare of the people at large. Thank you.
A lot of Nigerians believe that NEL Fund is not helping Nigerian students. They say that many of our political and other leaders, they did not borrow money to go to school. Why exactly are they introducing a loan fund? That when graduates come out, they're not even sure of a job, and yet they have this loan hanging around their necks. And if they do not pay within a certain time, themselves and their guarantors may face jail time or other stiff penalties. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't think that is totally true. There were some people, I think, in the 60s and 70s, and I think late 80s, there were student loan board. Only me, I didn't enjoy, because before us, the bridge breakers, who are those really not, some of those really not now, they stole their money and that be it. But when people begin to raise such alarm, there should be need for profiling. That is one thing. You don't just give out money for giving sake. There's a need for profiling. Let's profile those who have given the money, and you follow the person as he progresses in life. If it takes the person 10, 15 years to pay, be that as it may, then you must first note that the person must be legally employed before collecting that money. That money shouldn't be attached to time. It should be attached to legality of job engagement. If the person is legally employed, properly employed, not underemployed, you can then begin to think of collecting the student loan money. That is how it is done in advanced country. You don't just finish school today, they say in the next 3 or 4 years pay. No, it's not possible. They must have, in fact at times, it is even the loan board that will even attach you to a company where you work for some time. That's how these things come up. And then since our economy is nosediving every day, companies are going out of the country, and there are no new ones coming up. There should be a method, which is this profiling I just mentioned, and give these students time. And when we need to talk of the unemployability of our graduates. It is time for us to restructure our educational curriculum to the new normal, and to begin to make sure that you don't just train people to go and occupy an office. You train people, you bring up people from the university to be employers of labor. When you engage them, when you establish them, when you make them to be employers of labor by providing the infrastructures, by providing the facilities, by even giving them at times, some of them tax holiday for their companies to come up, you begin to see that the new generation of graduates we have today are eggheads. Some of them are very, very intelligent, and if you give them time, they will explode. You look at what is happening in the streets. I mean, the internet sector, where the people are making billions of money as a result of their usefulness on the internet and ability to create content.
Okay.
All we need to do, let's copy a model from the Japan, and which is what a replica, a microcosm of it is what the Adeleke governor is doing in terms of.
Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.